are stoked. We got our first pelagic fish on board. Ember's already like, what is this? And Grant's about to fillet it, and we are going to be eating well tonight. We still have like 90 nautical miles to go, so I guess you could say it's about like halfway, I think. So yeah, no sailing yet today because there's no wind, but we are running from weather and rather be safe than sorry. But I think we're gonna have some wind in a couple hours. With rough weather on the way, we had to make the tough decision to bypass the Seven Sisters, a popular surfing destination of Baja, and head towards Tortuga Bay, or Turtle Bay, from Puerto Santo Tomas, roughly 290 nautical miles, and our longest passage to date.
It's working. Hey babe, you should come check this out.
Is this what that Japanese like technique is?
Ikijimi. We're going down in spinal canals, breaking all the. We're gonna ream this.
How was watching your wife catch a pelagic fish on a hand line?
Hot.
And the best part is that's all the scraps that Grant's scraping off for the doggos for dinner.
And you know, if you wanted it for yourself, you could use this to make
Like fish soup or something?
yeah, I mean anything, or you could use it for making like spicy tuna, or like
While Grant's filleting our second yellowfin tuna, I've been over here working on putting the safety netting along the gate. We didn't have it before, and it's just been making me nervous at night because Ember sometimes when she's loose, which is really rare, but when she is, she'll go straight to the gate, so I'm gonna fix that. Okay, well, I'm in the middle of my project, and Grant just came over to me and said that since this is my first yellowfin I ever caught, I have to take a bite of the heart. I don't know. Did you do that when you caught your first one?
that was my first one.
What?
I didn't.
You have to take a bite.
I'll take a bite of yours.
Can you go first?
No, you go first.
What's this?
Don't just eat the red
Are you
part.
sure this is the heart and not like
100% that's the heart. The piece. Yeah, it was way up in its throat. It was right at the base of it. Don't eat the white part.
Okay. I have to swallow it?
Yeah.
Is it going to make me sick?
No. It's pretty good, isn't it? The blood in your mouth is
Ew.
awesome.
This is...
Come on, eat it. Eat it.
Ah!
I'll have some.
Ugh, it's gross. I mean, it's like, it doesn't really have much flavor. It's kind of very mild. And... Another fish?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. Another yellowfin?
We gotta make hay when the sun's shining. Time to
Nice gaff.
lead this guy.
Okay, Okay, as we were reeling in the hand line,
No, I was
Grant,
putting this one out just so that I could freaking grind it up because it's all snarled.
and we got one. Okay, it's going close to the prop. We're in neutral. Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, let me check. Yeah, I can tell. Oh! Uh-oh. Oh my god, there's 3 yellowfin. 2 of them are ours. Already caught. Yum. Oh my gosh! Wow! This looks amazing. I do not think Amber can be around for this. Yum.
Do you need something to drink? It's still fighting.
Oh no, it's surfacing. Oh. It's still fighting. Oh my goodness.
Don't get caught up in this line.
Oh yeah, it got bit.
Shark's on it.
Shark is on it. Shoot, I don't want to catch a shark.
Grab the gaff. Let's just...
And then, after 3 exhausting days, we finally made it to Bahia Tortuga. And we got to eat Rogelio and come to his restaurant. Baja's treating us pretty well. Oh my god. I never see Ember like this. Which one should we take home?
No.
Second day in Turtle Bay, and Grant's getting his shoes on to take the one wheel because we are out to fuel. How'd it go?
Good.
Yeah?
Worst part is they've got some steep speed bumps, so I just have to stop and step over them.
1 jerry can down. A few more to go. So how much did they quote you for per liter?
So the quote from the delivery service is 38 pesos per liter, but when we get it from the Pemex ourselves, it's 24 pesos per liter.
24
So-
pesos versus 38 is what we got
It ends
quoted
up
this
being
morning.
almost $3 US
Wow.
markup per gallon, but you know, everybody's got to make a living.
Yeah,
This
for
is
sure.
just more fun.
Well, we got the one wheel, might as well use it. Okay, see you in 15. We found out on our last passage that we were out of gas, or we thought we were, and then we checked when we got here, and it turns out our sender was just broken. So now we had to come up with a new dipstick. Grant is using a temporary dipstick for now. That is a tape measure. We got 2 on.
Yeah, let's go intro.
Wow. Wow, that's a big one. Wow, it's big! That's a big one. We just got 2 more fish on board, and as Grant was letting out the line so he could reel it in, we got another one. They are just everywhere. It is like a yellowfin fish pen out here. So we're gonna reel it in and maybe let this one go. Hey, but check out that one. Woo! We're gonna eat well tonight. Ooh, we got full sails and we got 2 fish on.
Kind of hard to fight.
Ooh.
8 knots.
Yeah, our speed right now is pretty fast. We're downwinding. Got the head and the main out, going about 7 knots, sometimes 8 we saw. And,
You're also out. No, that's a fish.
Really? You sure there's something on here?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm on mono. Full sails, the ham line. Oh, it's biting.
You got another 20 feet or
Are
so.
you kidding? No way. It's a big one.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And then the camera fell, but we caught our biggest tuna yet. Beautiful. Wow. Okay, it took about, what was that, like an hour to fillet all three of those big fish? We are eating well. Fish scales everywhere. Look at the waves behind us. Look at that. Wow. I feel like it's gonna crash on us and then, oh my god.
What?
That one was just white capping.
White cap for a while.
Oh, almost there. We got one boat rounding Isla Baja Asuncion, and it's into the sun, but we got another boat and another boat. Isn't there one more? Oh, and another one. We're in like a fleet right now for the first time. The town of Baja Asuncion. Clouds look so cool. Grant and I got to shore as quickly as we could after anchoring and brought our big yellowfin tuna, thinking that we could get some dinner from a taqueria out of it. As Grant and I were dragging our dinghy up the beach, Bernardo, a local Mexican in his 60s, was shore fishing, having already caught one surf perch the size of my foot lying in his bucket. He dropped the bucket to give us a hand with our dinghy. Grant and I looked at each other, knowing what the other one was thinking. And then Grant said, in the best Spanish he could, "This is random, but we have a fish for you." And when he looked in our dinghy at the size of the yellowfin, his jaw dropped and he was surprised and excited all at once. He said he lived across the street and was going to drive his truck over to load the fish. He then drove us to the closest restaurant where we ate yellowfin tuna tacos together that night. And we dropped the remainder of our yellowfin off with Tomas at the local restaurant up the street to be smoked.
Not in the car.
No, he's what do they call it? Vigilantia?
Sí, 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 sí.
Sí, it's
Yeah,
Mario.
Mario.
I'm researching how to can fish, and I just walked into the V-berth and Grant's done something in the chain locker. Let's check it out. I don't really know what he did. He said something's drying, but I think he actually like flattened the sides of the PVC to the side of the chain locker so it'll actually slide in there, which is great because we've been having some issues with the chain like piling up and getting stuck inside the vein of the chain locker. So that'll be a relief, and I am excited to see if it changes things. And then we're gonna make some water and just having a relaxing day in Bahia Asuncion. The wind is like howling outside. It's hard to really capture on film, but this is why we're having a lazy day. After this, I turned the camera off, but the next 12 hours were the worst of my cruising career. I was at the bow checking our snubbers, since we had heard other sailors in the anchorage had their snubbers chafed through. As I walked up to the bow, one snubber broke, and within a minute, the other snubber broke, leaving our anchor chain flying off the windlass and off the bow. The longest 3 seconds of my life, as I watched Grant try to throw the anchor chain back on the windlass, blood splattering everywhere, as we were quickly drifting into the reef behind us. Well, yesterday was one of the worst days of my life, and by far the worst day of cruising. God, I probably looked terrible. I was crying a lot yesterday. Yeah, I'm sure Grant will explain better than I, so I'll just say we lost our anchor. Anchor chain just came off the boat, got off the windlass. Grant's hand is all mangled up there, but he's doing better this morning. And important thing is we're safe. The boat's floating, and hopefully we can try to find our anchor today, and all of the chain. Yeah. Okay, we just packed the dinghy up, and we're gonna motor over and try to find our anchor. I'm gonna dive, and Grant's gonna be driving the dinghy. Got some floats, and then actually another cruiser just said they had a fish magnet, so that could be really handy. We'll see. Grant's hand was cut up, luckily all superficial, and he didn't need any stitches, but with the risk of infection, he stayed in the dinghy and I suited up to dive on the chain. With every passage, we always track our route, and therefore our anchor waypoint is saved in our chart plotter, something we never knew would be so beneficial. We did our best guess at where exactly it could be, since the chart plotter is only so precise. And then we set up a transect line and had 2 set buoys in place and 1 moving to prepare for what I would call a field survey.
Gavin on Mindrome, and we got Scott on Committed Sardine. They came out to help on the dive. We got the gimpy hand sitting in the boat. We got Tiger Lily on standby.
Should I go bring this
Team effort
back for the bridle?
Yeah, you can give me the weight though. Noelle on the first shot found the chain. Now we're just getting situated to go pick it up.
We got the chain playing up, and we put a line attached to it, so we're pulling it up with the one that's going to be able to grab it.
Cool.
I can't believe it. Almost as good as finding a fish in the water.
Oh, that's way better. First dive, huh, hon?
What?
First dive?
First dive, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Finally, I get to be the hero. Just kidding. It's like everyone here is the hero for helping us. Okay, it's been about a week since Grant hurt his hands, and they're healing up nicely, right? Yeah, you want to talk about what happened?
Sure.
Okay. So I'll set the scene, I guess. Santa Ana winds, so there was a ton of fetch, and our bow was dipping under. I don't think I got any footage of it, but yeah, these are the snubbers that broke, chafed through.
So I think the snubbers, it was a combination of a little bit of chafe, but actually mostly just a cyclical loading, and eventually the fibers gave up. But I'll show you, a foresight that I have now that kind of caused what I thought it was. So I had originally had the snubbers on our cleats here. I had the port side cleated on the starboard side cleat and coming up over the bowsprit and vice versa. But I led them out the chocks here, which seems like a great idea. But unfortunately, the angle that these chocks lead, if you go forward to where it would connect to the chain, it's nearly a 90-degree angle on the outside, and you can see it from where our snubber was. So the elongation, we had the snubber in some fire hose, but the stretching and also coming around that tight corner made the fibers unevenly loaded, which eventually led to the chafing and the failing, I think.
And we had a chafe sleeve, right? We used fire hose.
Yeah, so we had some fire hose and some stuff, which fire hose makes so then you can't inspect your stuff very easily, so it's kind of like a double-edged sword.
But now, yeah, what do we do now?
So now I run the snubber out and through our
bowsprit. Whoops, don't mind the dog poo. How did they get it there?
I don't know, someone pooped up here. So a little bit of fire hose for chafe, but they come up, go through the bowsprit and go forward. So now in a blow, inevitably the chain and the boat's going to drift back and the chain's going to come up and the snubbers are going to be coming more, hopefully not straight forward out of the boat, but it's definitely not going to be straight down if it's really pulling. So this deflection angle is going to be minimum. You know, it's minimal. It's not going to be that 90-degree. So that's one way we're combating it. The other thing too is just I had long snubbers that I had made up. I think they were almost 20. They were just shy of 25 feet each. And when we started cruising, I put those out and realized that they were way too long for 99% of the anchoring that we do. So I choked them up and cleated them off instead of having them on the eyes that I'd made. So I realized that I should have just elongated those knowing that the wind was coming and used the tools that I had, which would have gave a little bit more dynamic quality to the snubber, which would have helped, I think, with the cyclical loading a little bit, just to evenly distribute that force.
Yeah. So combination of not really knowing that this angle on the snubber would cause it to chafe and
knowing just not like putting it together.
But it was a learning lesson,
I mean,
and we're glad that we are safe.
Yeah, there's lots of little lessons learned that maybe we'll get to share with you guys, a little breakdown. Some obvious, and to many of you watching, I'm sure, and some maybe not so obvious.
Yeah.
There's a lot of learning lessons from that experience, but for now, we are happy we are safe and sound and motored away quickly after losing our anchor, rather than drifting into the reefs we were anchored nearby. And we didn't mention that the entire anchorage of sailors reached out to us via the radio to help, offering us extra chain and rode if we needed it so that we could re-anchor quickly. Grant ended up hopping in the dinghy after we lost our anchor and the seas calmed down while I motored away so that he could borrow another cruiser's extra chain. Grant then spent the entire night in the cockpit, just watching the anchor set up and releasing more rode so that we didn't chafe through again. It was an experience and one that we are happy is over, and we are here to share what we learned.
So now if you look, this is basically direct pull on this.
Cool. Yeah.
And it also is pulling it down on this.
We're enjoying a nice day sail. Probably one of the nicest day sails we've had.
Wow.
We left Bahia Asuncion in our past there in more ways than one, which we will discuss later. But it's a new day, it's a new week. We're on to Punta Hipólito, which is just a short hop, 20 nautical miles away. And we are flying the main, the spinnaker, enjoying our own smoked fish that our friend Tomas smoked for us. There's 4 boats in front of us. They all left before us.
We're trying our best to get them.
Yeah. But,
even though it's not a race, it always is a race.
Yeah, wind's kind of picking up, which is nice.
Thanks for watching, and thanks to our newest patron, Andrew, for joining the crew. See you next week.
Does this mean we have made it to Baja?